Hey y'all, what's going on? It has been a minute. Just wanted to check in, say hello to everybody, and I've been getting your emails and your Instagram messages. I want to thank you so much for everyone who's been so gracious and so kind. I appreciate it. So today, just wanted to talk about a couple things, and we're in like major lockdown mode here in Portugal. So, yeah, we were in lockdown before, but this one's like go to the grocery store, come home. That's it, which is cool because the introvert in me is fine with that. So I have a little bit more time on my hand than usual. So what I'll try to do over the next course of weeks maybe or days, do some various trainings that will hopefully help everybody get their New Year's resolution off. But it's really good to see you guys again. So I'm going to talk about a couple things today. I'm going to talk about my experience learning Portuguese, the Portugal lockdown, and really anything else you guys want to chat about. I know I've been getting your emails, people asking where I've been, but with the administration change in the States, the expectation was that the U.S. was going to go on some form of a lockdown. Their cities and states were going to kind of do whatever they felt that they need to do with COVID. So some of my clients that didn't get ready for marketing online before COVID had hit wanted to really buckle down now. So I had to do a training in the States in addition to connect with some clients. So I went to the States for 2 weeks and I just got back a couple of days ago. And that's been the thing. So coming back from the States this time was really, really emotional. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, I was having a really hard time. It's been, oh, hey, Fernando, how are you coping with the cold weather? Let me see. Let's show this. How are you actually coping with the cold winter inside your home? Is heating your home expensive? That is a very good question. So listen, it has been ridiculously cold this year in Portugal. So I like a couple of times I was going to bed with like a full-fledged outfit on, like hat, like the most, right? So in comparison, and I'm gonna do a video on my monthly expenses. Most of you all know I live in Caxias. I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment. This whole side of my house is windows. And so there is a draft that comes in and I'm right off the water. So that may make it a little bit colder than if somebody was not on the water. So typically my utilities, my gas, water, internet, I'm missing one, electric, runs about 60 euros a month for all of them, which this last month, all of my utilities, gas, water, electric, and all of that was like 112 euros. So when it says expensive, it's really just relative to what you're used to, because back in the States, 100 and something euros would have just been my water bill. Okay. So it's definitely more expensive than most times this winter for my electric bill. But in comparison to what I was used to paying for in the States, it was still a steal. So I didn't mind that. Okay, so we'll get some of your questions now. Hey, really bad in Portugal. As far as numbers, you think you're talking about COVID numbers? I really don't know what the numbers are, guys. I didn't know what the numbers were in the States, to be honest with you. I just do my introvert thing, go to the grocery store and go home. So I haven't looked at any sites to see what the actual numbers are. So I don't know what those are. Hey there, cold currently going across Europe. Yes, because didn't it snow in Spain? Like someone told me it snowed in Madrid like 3 weeks ago. And I'm like, what is happening? Hey there, Anna. Hey there. Thank you, hon. So that's what it was in the States. So I left the States a couple of days ago. And the traveling, if anyone was curious, hey there, James. Everyone curious how traveling is during this particular time. It was actually pretty nice. I mean, I felt like there were less people in the airports than there are at the grocery stores. So I felt okay with that. Most of the airlines, particularly TAP, I fly Air Portugal when I go back to the States because they have a straight flight out of to DC, and they also have a straight flight to Boston. So if you're in the States and you need to know how to get straight flights, usually TAP comes out of Boston, New Jersey, New York, and DC, Dallas. So with the pandemic going on, The ticket was expensive though. Let me tell you that. Ticket was extreme, in my opinion. It was extremely expensive. I could have gone by way of UK and cut it down like at least $400, but I was just nervous. I didn't want to do a whole bunch of stopping and moving during this time and what's going on. So I didn't do that. Hey, Las Vegas. Are there many of our people there? When you say our people in Portugal, are you saying there are Black people in Portugal? Of course. Hey, from Porto. Oh, cool. I totally want to visit Porto. Yes, give me some information on that. I'm sure all our viewers would be interested about Porto as well. So yes, that is the experience traveling. It was pretty quiet coming from DC to Portugal. So yeah, if you have to travel, I get it, but I wouldn't kind of recommend doing it. So today we're going to talk about my experience learning Portuguese. I've been in Portuguese class for the past 2.5 months. So a couple things. When people ask me about moving to a country by themselves where they don't know the language or anything like that, the 2 questions I get is, how do you make money if they don't have a job in that country, and how do you deal with the language? So for many of you who've been following me since the beginning, me not knowing the language was a huge thing. I started off when I first came a year ago, I started off in Lisbon in the city center. Then I went to Cascais, and Cascais was hard for me because it was to me, it felt like a whole bunch of families, and I just felt super lonely out there, and I didn't speak the language, and I had just got here. So I didn't know anyone. So like my emotions was probably at a higher level. Like now I could probably go to Cascais and be fine. But when I first came here, it was rough. So the first year I spent pretty much in city center. I stayed in Estefania, Saldana, and a couple other places. And I did not need to speak Portuguese. I could pretty much get by with English. But this is what I would tell you. You will pay 50-60% more living in the city center of Lisbon than probably most places outside of Lisbon. So you got to remember that Lisbon is basically the New York City of Portugal. So naturally, prices are going to be more expensive. It's in the middle of the city, and you do get amenities with that. So I could walk pretty much everywhere. I didn't need a car, anything like that. So that was great. And I enjoyed it. And I feel like if you are just moving to Portugal by yourself and you don't speak the language, Lisbon might be a good look when you first come, at least for the first 4, 5 to 6 months. And then you might want to start venturing out, particularly if you're moving by yourself, which is what I did. If you're moving with a family or people you already know, then that could be a different situation, because listen, this community and the need of community when you move abroad is serious. Again, that thing right there, and this is coming from an introvert. And I know you all like, oh, you're not an introvert. First of all, I'm in a room by myself talking to a camera. If that ain't the most introverted thing that you could do, I don't know what else is. But that was my experience. So when I moved out here to Caxias, I know everyone's like, oh, everyone speaks English in Portugal. Everybody been telling me that. And I don't know if just the people I run into, but that has not been the case for me. So in Caxias, I have like a wonderful bakery and a butcher down the street and a market and all of that. And no one speaks English. And obviously that's fine because I'm in your country. I get it. But I would get, pretty intimidated. And I felt that moving out here would encourage me to, learn the language. However, I am super insecure, particularly with things I do not know what I'm doing. And I'm not that great of a student. Like, I have some barriers there. But this is what I will say. So it's been 2 months. Hey, boo. It's been 2.5 months, and I've been taking the class. I've met some wonderful classmates. I don't know if anyone of my classmates are going to come up today, but it's been really cool. When I curated this class, Sally, and some of you may have met her on the interview we did about moving to Portugal with children. She was our instructor. She still is our instructor. Our class doesn't end until February 18th, and we have a second language class that is coming up. So if anyone is interested in that, I put the link in the description. This is a completely different teacher. She specializes in helping people convert from English to Portuguese, because English can be, I found when I first started learning Portuguese, reading it is still a huge challenge for me, because you know how like in Spanish, the letters actually relate to how you're trying to sound it out? That may not have made sense. That is not the case in Portuguese. So you'll see these letters and you're assuming it's said like this, and it is just totally not. So I struggle. I still kind of struggle in reading Portuguese now. So as far as speaking it, I am still slightly insecure. So I'm probably not saying it out loud as much as I should. But one fun fact, I was drinking, I'm grown, y'all. So, but I was drinking at the bar. This was months or weeks ago. And I was taking an Uber back to Caxias. And so I had like 3, maybe 4 glasses of wine. And I'm just talking in Portuguese with my Uber driver. Like, I was so shocked. But I guess because I wasn't nervous, because I had been sipping, that it worked out pretty well. But so now when I first got here, I would hear people speak and I had no idea what was happening. But now I can probably hear every other 3rd or 4th word and understand what's being said. And so I'm able to understand it a little bit more. And the good thing about class, so because there's 20 of us, we have a study hall in the middle of the week. In addition to, we've all separated in time zones. So some people who are in the class, it's 20 people max. I think right now in the class we have room for maybe 5 more people. This is a new Portuguese class. It's not the class that I'm in. My class has already started. So this is a new cohort of people who are taking the class, and we divide amongst 20 people, and then we divide into time zones so that you can still participate with other people who are learning the language as well, so you can continue to practice. Because if you live in the States and you're learning Portuguese, you need to talk to people who are speaking Portuguese, and you may not have that cohort around you. So it's important to do that. So what the class was, it was important to me to kind of create something that helped whatever type of learner you are. I take a minute to learn things, particular things I'm not like all confident in. Like if it's something with like business or food or something like that, like I'm like, yes, I can learn that in like 2 seconds. Everything outside of that, like it takes me a minute. So the classes are live. In addition to, in the software, you get the recording. There's 2 recordings that come with that. There's a recording of the actual class. And then there's a PowerPoint that the instructor gives you based on whatever we're talking about, in addition to her voice. So you can hear her voice continuously say words. And so I tend to play that like when I'm cooking or kind of chilling around the house. And that's been super helpful for me. But more importantly, like it's been really cool, like meeting other people across the world. And we're all trying to either move to Portugal. Some of us are already here, and get to make these friends that probably would have never met any other way. So in anything I do, if any of you have attended any kind of class or course or anything that I've done, like the building the community part is the most important thing to me, because I feel like that just helps with the learning environment, and then you just get to meet people. And with COVID, listen, we need more like interaction with people. And this is coming from an introvert. So I see we got a lot of questions. Let me come in and start answering those. 60 euros is pretty good. I spend more than that here. Where are you, Anna? Are you in Portugal? Where are you? 60 euros is before the summer, before the winter. I was paying 112 euros when it got freezing around here. Hey, Vegas, Porto. Yes, that's very affordable. How often do you have your heater on during the winter? Good question. So all the time. My heater is on in my bedroom probably all the time. So some of, I don't know if you guys met Jamila, but her and her husband, they have this, the gas heater thing that comes from the gas company here, and it heats up their whole house. And I know some people are using that. My apartment has like no storage space. So I'm always, and I suffer from like selective OCD, like the stuff that should matter to me, it doesn't matter at all. But the stuff that is dumb, I obsess about. So I've been obsessed about like not having a lot of clutter. And so I didn't get that. And I'm not sure if I would do it again, because I feel like this winter is an anomaly. So I'm just going to try and deal. But yeah, I keep my heater on in my bedroom all day. So yeah, from Texas, just curious if insulation is good in your place. No, insulation is not good in my place. Again, this whole front side of my apartment are windows. It's a massive window that looks out to the water. So I do get a draft, but most of the windows here have the covering. So if I wanted to put the covering down, I could do that, but it'll be like super dark in here. So yeah, like insulation is just not, that's not what the homes are known for here, but it's usually typically not freezing or cold. So it hasn't really been a need. It's funny because even we were taking an Uber somewhere and it was freezing. It was so cold. And the Uber driver, he was like, "Muy frío, see?" And I was like, "Yes." And so he was tapping buttons on his heater in his car. You could tell he probably never used his heater in his car. It was freezing. Okay, from Texas. Okay. Hey there, Marcus. Do you create your own website? Outsource. Hold on, does that say? Do you create your own websites or outsource the work? The Learn Portuguese website looks great. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. I do that. But that's kind of my job. You guys know I'm in digital marketing, so that's the only reason why I know how to do it. When your time to get to the vaccine comes, can you get the vaccine in Portugal? I would imagine so. I'm sure that would be the case. Okay. Have you considered moving to Morocco and stay there permanently? No, that's random. No, didn't consider Morocco. Plus I moved to, so there's certain countries, if you're going to move there as a single woman, you have to move to a country that you can feel safe there as a single woman. I'm not saying that's not Morocco, but I've had some friends travel there and have some issues as women. So Morocco was not on my radar at all to move full time. Jam, and that is funny on introverted. What type of food do they have in Portugal? They have all types of food, hun. I don't know what list to give you, but just fruits, vegetables, all that great stuff. Fish, food is really good here and fresh. I'm a few for. Hey there, Justine. It reads like Spanish. What reads like Spanish? Portuguese? I don't think so. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm getting your questions, and this software is not. You will learn slow. Yes. Okay. Sorry, guys. Still. So peace and blessings. Thank you, honey. You will agree with the community is the best. Hey, what course is it that you're using to learn Portuguese? It's a course I curated, hun. So basically the software is there, and I found a wonderful Portugal teacher here. I have two. So we have a class that's coming up that starts this Tuesday. And basically she comes on and teaches twice a week live. And then we, as a class, we have a study group. Ours is on Wednesdays. Our study group is on Wednesdays, and we do our live class on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So yeah, that is what I use. So the instructor, she teaches for an hour, and then we get the recording. I upload the recording to the software. And then she also has a PowerPoint where it has the words, the images, and her voice. So that's been super helpful because you can just download it and just play it when you're around the house. So that is what I've been using. And it's 20 of us in a class. We're in the first class. There is a second class that's coming up, and there's no more than 20 students. I think we have 5 or so spots left if anyone's interested. The link is in the description. When you, what does that say? When you do the video guides to Portugal, I would really be interested. I'm not going to Porto right now, obviously, because there's a lockdown, but I will definitely, I'm super excited about checking out Porto. I don't know much about the art scene or the cost of living in Portugal, so I can't offer any information there. If you would have to go to Lisbon, what does that say? Important things there, many things, office. So here's the thing, guys. I'm probably not going to do content on stuff that I'm not interested about. So if you want to know about certain things, you're going to have to kind of research that or find those specific groups in Portugal, because that would be super helpful. Like, so if you want the art scene, just Google Lisbon art scene. And then don't forget about Facebook, guys. Facebook has a whole ton of people that have specific interests. So you can look for Facebook groups of art, Lisbon, Portugal, and see what you come up with. And there's going to be tons of people there that are going to be in that particular industry, but I'm completely clueless on the art scene here. Your monthly heating costs are very good considering the fact that you keep your heat on all day. Oh, really? Oh, that's good to know. Okay. One of my top priorities. Okay. So, Handy Joe. So the top priority is the internet. Listen, I understand that because many of you know I day trade, so the internet is crucial. So I am not having any issues with it. I have very strong internet here in Caxias. For the most part, every place I've stayed, I haven't had any issues with internet. That's one of the reasons why I chose Portugal as opposed to some other countries. Okay, let's see. Okay, what are words are similar, pronounced and differently? Clarification. What does it say? Yeah, the words are similar and you pronounce differently. Yes, I agree. Okay, let's see. As a single woman, I felt safe in Portugal and saw so many women that were traveling around the world in Portugal. Yes, I feel super safe here. And I did, for many of you know, I did a lot of solo traveling about for 3 years before I decided to move out of the country. And Portugal just felt like super accommodating. And, you know, as a woman, you really have to be safe out here because there's a lot. And as this economy goes to crap, it's going to be a lot more dangerous. I mean, there's a lot, you know, women, you just really have to be diligent in regards to traveling. So I'm considering getting sister locks, but want to know, let's see. I'm considering getting sister locks, but want to know whether anyone there is able to maintain them. I have no idea, hun. I don't have sister. I don't know anyone who does. I know someone who had actual dreadlocks, but I'm not sure. She might have done it herself, so I'm not sure. I have no insight on that. I'm sorry. Moving back to the neighborhood. Let's see. It says, what is it like moving back to that neighborhood that you first felt isolated and lonely? What is it like moving back? I don't know if I understand this question, honey. When we talked about me feeling isolated and lonely, it was when I was in Cascais. And that was more so because that was my first time coming to Portugal. I feel like I was maybe 2 weeks off the plane. I didn't know anyone. And so I was just having my own little emotional issues. And then in Cascais, I wasn't in like the touristy area. I was further up. So most people were speaking Portuguese and I couldn't understand. And then I just, you know, I just felt super lonely. And it also felt like a family area. So every time I did see people, it was a lot of families, and kind of being in a family area when you're by yourself, it just felt uncomfortable for me personally, but you may love it. So that's kind of my experience. Hey there, what is that? What's the ration of local Portuguese versus expat friends you've made? It pretty much varies. So I met a lot of Brazilians. And so I'm trying to keep Brazilian Portuguese in my European Portuguese that I'm learning. I'm trying to keep that because I know it's different. And I do know in some places they discriminate. I won't even go down that road. But at any rate, in regards to like the percentage, I don't know, it's probably 50-50. You said lockdowns are so last year. That's funny. Okay. Let's see. It says, did you move to Portugal due to fire and have your own and have you met Irish Journey 11 Bill? Oh, thank you, hon. I didn't. I'm not retired. I still work. So no on that. I have not met Irish Journey, their family. They're adorable. I haven't met them yet. We have spoke on occasion on Instagram, but when I came back, it was the pandemic. So many of you know I left Portugal for a while. I was supposed to go on vacation with my best friend. And then COVID happened. Well, I went through a breakup too. So then I was trying to get my emotions together. So I stayed in the States a little bit longer than I had anticipated. COVID came and then they locked the border down in Portugal. That was before I had gotten my residency visa, which is what prompted me to hurry up and get my residency visa because all my stuff and my life was here in Portugal and I couldn't get back in the country. So I haven't met them yet. And since it's been a pandemic since I've been back, I haven't really met anyone new, unfortunately. But as soon as, you know, our world gets back to our normal, then hopefully we'll get that together. Okay, good morning. Any regrets moving to Portugal? Do you see yourself in Portugal 5 years? Do you think Portugal will restrict immigration laws due to the influx? Thank you. Okay, so regrets moving to Portugal? Absolutely not. Do you see myself in Portugal in 5 years? I do. I plan on staying here and getting my citizenship. I think that even what COVID has made extremely clear is that, you know, our little blue passport don't mean much nothing. You know what I mean? And just the way that I want to set up, my life for retirement just seems substantially better out of the country than in the country. I don't know if I'll live in Portugal for like forever. Like if we're saying, God willing that I'm here for another 20, 30, 40 years. Europe have a really great structure for retirement. And it's easier to be, if you're a citizen, you get those benefits. So I definitely am trying to plan for the years ahead as to how I'm going to create my life and, stay healthy and do something that's easy. So I hope that I answer you. Do you think Portugal has strict immigration laws due to influx? I have no idea. What another country going to do about immigration. So I got nothing on that. But I think if you're going to do it, just, do it soon with anything. You know what I mean? Like we can kind of sit there and think about what we should and should not do often. And then we get caught up in it and then we don't make a move at all. And then we think about what we would have, should have, could have. I'm not trying to scare anyone, but a good movie to watch, Female Single Travel, is in. Oh, girl. First of all, you say you're not trying to scare anybody. That make me feel like you about to scare them with that movie. Okay. Hello from Miami. Do I live in Cascais? I do not live in Cascais. I stayed in Cascais for a little bit. I live in Caxias, which is a completely different city. I don't live in Cascais. Please explain the economy statement. Okay. Please explain the economy statement. I don't even remember what I said. But the economy's going to go to crap. If it's not, we're already in a recession, US globally. So it's going to get worse before it gets better, people. That's just common sense logic. There are businesses that are closed. There are people not making money. People are continuously getting laid off. That's just common sense. So the economy is going to get worse. Now, I think what I said, I was relating it to women being safe when they travel. So it's not a secret that there is sex trafficking that goes on in various countries. And if you're traveling by yourself and you're a woman, you need to be diligent. So you don't want to get caught up in that type of situation. So this is not something that's new for solo women travelers. I think there's various groups online and things that tell people or tell women how to be safe if they're solo traveling. Like things like, and let me just go over some of those tips if anyone's meeting me for the first time and you haven't solo traveled. There's just certain things you shouldn't do. You want to go to countries that women are safe. Women are not respected and safe in every single country in this whole wide world. Okay, that's not true. So when you research and you're going by yourself, you need to make sure that you are picking countries that are safe as a woman. Don't drink at night. I don't recommend it. Do not drink at night and don't drink by yourself. Many groups, we talk about that. We don't do it. If we're going to drink, we might do it in the afternoon. I would typically do breakfast and maybe lunch out. And usually by the end, I will probably go inside, depending on what country I'm in. And if I met some friends. So that's one of the things. Also, keep a electronic folder on your cloud drive. So I use Dropbox. You could use Google Drive. That's going to have all your flight information, where you're staying, any medical information that you need to have, and then share that link with people who are local in your home base. So if you live in the States, share the link with your parents, your friends, or whatever, so that they have access to all the documents they would need just in case something happens. Not trying to freak anybody out, but just want people to be safe, particularly women, if you are traveling alone. Okay, this is a really good question. Hey, Richard, have you experienced problems getting things shipped to Portugal like Amazon? Listen, so before I researched moving here, I was told that is one of the hardest things. And if you are from the US and you are used to Amazon Prime and your stuff coming the next day, that is not Portugal at all. So Amazon has like a France, Germany, Spain version of Amazon. They're not going to have all the same products that they have in the US. And the US, we're a bunch of consumers and we just buy stuff for no damn reason. So that's not really the culture here. So, which is good. Like, on one hand, it's super good because I'm saving so much money, because it may be a bit of a challenge to get certain things. But then by the time I would have to get, I'm like, did I really need it? I probably didn't. So the problem what I found with Prime is that you can get whatever you want, like instantly, like the next day. That's definitely not the case here. You can get stuff from Amazon, like you can get stuff from Amazon Germany, they'll mail it here to Portugal. If you're getting something from the US specifically to Portugal and it exceeds $20, like good luck. It's not happening. They're gonna pay. It's just don't do it. So that is a bit of a challenge here, but I feel like I've gotten pretty adjusted to that. Food. What do you like the most? And okay, so any Portuguese traditional food? I do like bacalhau, but for some reason, it's like 900 billion versions of bacalhau, and they're all different. So on the menu, it'll say bacalhau, but it looks completely different than the bacalhau I had somewhere else. So I don't know which one of the 8 billion versions of bacalhau they have. But I do like bacalhau. I have not been to Alentejo yet. I haven't really explored much outside because it's been the pandemic. So I do plan on exploring more. And Pedro, if you are offering to show me the spots, let me know because I don't know where I'm going. Let's see. Any idea how long the process is right now for obtaining a visa? I have no idea because I already have my visa. So I have not checked on anything updated with the visa process because obviously I wouldn't have to. I'm more so kind of focused on what I need to do to stay legal for my stuff going forward. So I don't know how long the process would be. I would imagine a lot of that is going to depend on where you're applying. So, there's the California office, which I've heard is the harder office, but I don't know. I applied out of the DC office. I think when I did mine, I did mine during COVID, I think in July of 2000. What year are we in now? 2020. And it took me about 42 days, I think, to get my visa. Can they be obtained upon arrival? Can your visa be obtained upon arrival? No, you have to get your visa in the state. It depends on, let me not say that. It depends on what visa you're talking about. There's a variety of different visas you can apply for. For the one that I applied for, which I think was a D7, long stay visa. I had to get that in the States. I could not do that here. So I hope that's helpful. Okay. Do you feel, what did I do? Okay. Do you feel like you're productive in your business? Hell yes. Yes. And yes, I am so much more productive. One, it's a pandemic outside, so I'm in the house working more than usual. I am so much more productive since I've moved. Even when I just went back to the States, I struggled a bit because I think I was it's crazy. It's like when you go back, particularly if you're someone who left the country to kind of get like a more laid back type of lifestyle and kind of calm down all the freaking emotion and stuff. When you go back, you feel it. As soon as I hit the floor, I was like, yeah. And it reminded me that I didn't, want to live there anymore. I want to see people that I love, but I definitely don't want to live there. I think because it's less stress here, I'm able to be creative. I'm able to look at things so much more. And then I can focus on what I want to do in my business as opposed to what I have to do in order to pay all them damn bills I had to pay in America. Like now I don't think my cost of living has ever been this cheap. And I'm talking about like when I first had my apartment when I was like 20 years old, my cost of living hasn't been as cheap as in here. And then my quality of life is so much better and people value relationships here. And even though like in the States, you have people that you love, everyone's life is so chaotic that it's hard even scheduling time with them to see them. Like you have to schedule, dinners and lunches like months out and then someone cancels so I'm definitely more productive here. And I think it's because like my mental health is better. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of what the difference is. Okay, let's see. Girl, you are oh shoot, girl. Well, I hope you come to visit before you retire. I don't want that kind of pressure. I hope you come to visit Portugal and then love it and then retire. But I hope you get to visit before you make the move. Okay. Do you feel your overall well-being has improved in Portugal versus being in the UK? Hell yeah. Give examples. With some of the examples I just stated, as far as work and being able to be more creative, the access to fresh food. And so I said, so if y'all seen my like, why did I move to Portugal video? I said that, but there's a big difference. So again, I just left the States, right? I had to go there, do some training, and connect with a couple of my clients before we like lockdown, right? So I was staying in a hotel, and so when I go to the States, I kind of eat vegetarian just because there's so much crap in our food. So I was just looking for some fruit for breakfast. It was like all these damn pastries, alcohol, like 6 o'clock in the morning. There was a series of alcohol and stuff you could have bought. And then something, and I was just looking for like a banana or something. And I was like, do you have any fruit? And she was like, fruit? I mean, we got like you want a fruit cup? And I was like, Jesus Christ, no. Which is like drastically different here, because you can just go to a bodega or just to anywhere and it's just fresh fruit. It's just culture here. Like it's just normal. So just having access to that. And so let me tell you something about this 40-plus-year-old body, right? I was joking with my best friend, and we was like, when you in your 20s, you didn't really know what your body did. Like you could just eat anything you want and everything's okay. And at 40, girl, your knees start making noises and stuff. So I had like OD on sugar, right? When I was in the States, and it was my birthday. So I had like a whole birthday cake. Like I was just losing my mind. I turned into like a whole sugar addict. So then my knee started acting up, y'all. My knee was tripping, and I know it came from the sugar. It's like, I know what I eat that'll like trigger something. So because fresh food is such a normal thing here, it's easier for me to have a better quality of life, definitely with the food that I'm eating, and the way I'm, out here moving and shaking. So I hope that's helpful, Kendra. Okay, let's see what we got. Thanks for the tips, taking notes. Yes, Justine, definitely be safe when you were traveling by yourself. Get it shipped from Europe. Yeah. So, right. So Europe to Portugal, of course, if you ship something in Europe, you're going to be fine. But if you're doing it specifically from the US to Portugal, like, nah, it's good. Have I ever been to London? I have been to London. I'm not a huge, London reminds me of New York. So I'm not a huge fan of London, but yes, I have been. Yes, I like Ashun. That's like my favorite. We have a big one up the street that's like my favorite grocery store. Okay, thanks for answering my last question. What the situation with the vaccines in Portugal? Is there a plan? I don't know, huh? You're gonna have, if you want to know anything about COVID specifically as to what Portugal is doing, you're gonna have to go to the government websites. I don't really know. I don't tend to obsess about it. I just do what I need to do. I stay isolated. I go to the grocery store. I come home. That's really all I do. But I didn't know that type of stuff, even, in the US. Like I just kind of disconnect from that type of thing. But I would encourage anyone who wants to know what the numbers are, how they're increasing. For some reason, if you want to know that, just type in Portugal COVID and .pt, and any government site will come up. But I just kind of stay to myself and just try to be a good girl. Let's see. Okay. US is a struggle. Biggest ever. I mean, I get it. You picked that part of, let's see. Are there reasons you picked that part of Portugal to live and opposed to, say, the Algarve? Well, as I explained before, I felt like Lisbon, I'm a city girl. So I wanted to move in a city. And for me, not speaking the language, that was the best place for me personally. And then I kind of moved outward. I like being close to Lisbon. So that's just my personal thing. Again, I'm from a city. I'm from Washington, D.C. So city life is kind of what I like personally. So that was my reason for picking it. Yes, to the knees. Yes. Listen, these knees are not here trying to play games. Yes. Looking good. Oh, thank you so much, Raina. Let's see. Do the apartments in Portugal have amenities like in US, like workout rooms? Yes, absolutely. So you're going to pay more for them the same way that you would pay more for apartments in the States. So if you were looking at an apartment in the States that has all of the amenities, those apartments are going to be more expensive. So yes, of course they have, like, guys, it's Europe. And Europe existed before the United States. So Europe has what you need. I mean, that's kind of why I chose Europe, because I'm a little bit bougie in amenities that I need in my life that Europe kind of accommodated that type of thing. So yeah, they totally have it. You just pay a little bit more. And it's probably definitely in Lisbon. So it just depends on, what you feel, what your budget is. Lisbon is a lovely place. I like it. The country, how are you bringing? Okay, let's see. Okay, when you move out the country, how are you bringing everything? What's important to take? Okay, so I brought nothing. So when you're moving out the country for the first time, if you did not like do a lot of extensive travel prior to this, and this is like your first time doing it, I would recommend leaving absolutely everything, at least for the first 6 months to a year, because depending on, what apartments and things look like, if you're coming from the States, a lot of the stuff we have is massive for no apparent reason. So the rooms are a lot smaller here. So if you were to try to take your furniture and all that stuff, it just would have been too much. So I really just came with clothes. And now that I'm here, I really don't need anything. I did get furnished apartments, so I didn't have to worry about furnishing them. Which I would kind of recommend, because when you just move to a country, particularly if it's one that you don't speak the language or know anybody, like you don't want to be dealing with movers and trying to like, I personally didn't. So I would say just hold off and don't try to bring everything. And from a lot of, my expat friends that live in different parts of the country, we kind of all have that same kind of consensus. Like, don't try to bring anything, at least when you first get out. Like, go check it out for a year, and then you'll realize you didn't even need this stuff that you left behind. And some of it is like an emotional attachment. So that's kind of why you try to bring it, but don't get stressed out with that. Things that's important to take, particularly, again, my experiences from the US coming to Europe. So of course, that's what I want to speak on, because that's, all I know. Certain electronics are going to be cheaper in the States than they are in Europe. So if you want to get certain electronics, like if you want like a new camera or a new phone, just go ahead and get that in the States, because it may not be in Europe, or it's going to be expensive. If you are coming to Europe, this is super, super important, which I don't know if people are really considering this. The euros are far worth more than the US dollar. So for those of you who are still making money in the US, but you are moving to Europe, you really got to understand that you are going to lose money in the conversion. So when I first came to Portugal last year, I think it was like $1.11. Now it's up to 123. So you're basically losing 23% of your money just in the conversion of USD to euros. That's not even including the price and the fees associated with converting that money. So when you are thinking about making a move to any country, not just Europe, but any country in which same with London, the pounds are worth far more than the USD. So for everybody screaming this, America great stuff, like, well, why is our currency lower than other places? But I ain't even gonna go there. So yeah, electronics. If you are really hell bent on a certain like facial or hair products, just bring those. You can always convert to those products when you get into the country, but it's just going to take a bit of a learning curve. So that's really what I've said. Everything else you could totally buy in another country. Like, don't even stress about it. Hey there, Paula. Okay, let's see. How do home prices outside of major cities in Lisbon, Porto compare to home prices in the US? I don't know, hon. I only stayed in Lisbon. I have not been to Porto yet, so I can't tell you about the prices. What you can do, you can go to Idealista or Remax, Century 21. All of those real estate agents exist here in Portugal, and that can give you a better idea about neighborhoods and prices as far as like bedrooms. When you're looking at bedrooms here, it says T. I don't know what the T stands for, but it'll say T in opposed to like B, which we say in the States. And that way you can kind of look at square footage. They don't do square footage here. It is square. Is it meters here? I don't know, metrics, y'all. But that way it can give you some idea about prices. I won't be able to give you that, unfortunately, because I have not been looking for a home yet, but I think I'm going to buy next year. So, all right. Thank you, honey. I appreciate you. Jesus, interested in learning Portuguese, but not ready to start the visa process. Let's see. Okay, interested in learning Portuguese, but not ready to start the visa process. Should I get a jump on the lessons now or closer to the move? That's really your call, hon. So if you're talking about the Portuguese classes that we have coming up this Tuesday, again, if anyone's interested, the link is in the description. I think we only have 5 more people that we can accept, and I'm not sure if anyone signed up while I was doing this live. The good thing about the courses is they are recorded. So we do have people who are taking the class who are still in the States right now who plan on moving to Portugal. And they'll be recorded. So even when the class is over, it's a 12-week course. Even when the class is over, you still have access to the course material. And what my class is doing, which I'm super excited about, we still are going to keep the studying going, even though our contract with the teacher is over. We're still going to stay together, us 20, and still continue to learn and talk and chat. And now we've been together for like 2.5 months. So it's like we family. So now I need to know what everybody doing. So really it's your call, hon. It's, whatever floats your boat. Okay. From Denmark. Hey, Mark from Denmark. Appreciate you. Okay. How when the pandemic passes, you should visit. I'm so ready to visit Porto. I was actually going to try and go over Christmas, but then the lockdown, happen, and I want to go during when it's cold and when it's warm. That's what I was advised. USD is falling. USD is falling. It's been falling. So Are there international banks in Portugal? There are. I would like to leave it. Okay, let's see what this says. I would like to leave the US for 6 months with my 2 dogs. Just to test the water. Would 20K US be enough to survive that part of time? Are you saying 6 months in Portugal specifically? Or, because I can't speak to a whole bunch of other countries. If you're talking about another country, absolutely. If you're talking about Portugal, yeah, totally. Yeah, that's more than enough. Now, if you're moving, depending on what you're trying to do, you got to think that through a little bit. Those are not habits you customize, you incorporate into your daily life. Okay, well, hi guys, and yes, it's square meters. Hey, WG, I haven't seen you in a while. What's been going on? Run away from a real estate agent. Idealist, let's share this with the people. You always dropping knowledge. I know you're gonna be in the comments dropping more knowledge. You were so helpful. I haven't seen you in a minute. How you been? Okay, so here are some websites that are recommended. I haven't had any good luck with real estate agents, to be perfectly honest with you. I think I went through at least 7 now. No, more like 9 in the 2 years that I've been here. Websites, even this price of square footage. Yes. So guys, you checking that out? You're looking at that? Thank you for sharing that information. It was good seeing y'all faces again. I feel like I've been off. But I've been working. Y'all know. No, you got sick? No. You doing okay now? And which part of her? Who you asking? I'm in Caxias, guys. I live in Caxias. Oh, I'm so sorry you got sick. I'm hoping you're feeling better. So again, we have the Portuguese classes. The new classes are starting this Tuesday. We have Ines, who is going to be the teacher. It's going to be 20 students in there. There's 2 hours of instruction, 1 hour of study hall, and then you're divided into your time zones for additional study groups. And then you get to meet a bunch of cool other people. Yes, Square. So if you're interested in that, the link will be in the description. What does that say? Okay, so this is helpful. Thank you, Anna. Much appreciated. Whoops, wrong one. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So Anna's sharing some stuff here. So it's either T, T1, T2, and opposed to in the States, we'll say like 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom. They operate in T's here. What does the T stand for? Can someone tell me that? You got the Rona back in November. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm glad you guys are still healthy. Still battling some issues though. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, hon. Prayers to you. Porto is fabulous. I can't wait to go. Software for Brazilian. Right. So this is right. This is one of the issues. So Connor, it says, be advised that most Portuguese language learning software programs are for Brazilian Portuguese and not European Portuguese. That is very, very, very true. When I came and when I was taking Pimsleur, Pimsleur was cool because it's audio. And I think that's the way that I learn. I think I'm better with audio. And so Pimsleur has like maybe 1 lesson of European Portuguese, everything, but they have like 8 billion of Brazilian Portuguese. So when I came here, it was important for me to find a Portuguese teacher. So that is a European Portuguese teacher. So that's who's teaching the classes that I'm currently in addition to the classes that are coming up Tuesday. So yeah, it is a difference between Brazilian Portuguese and European Portuguese. The same way there's a difference between Spain Spanish and whatever Spanish they taught me in high school, because whatever Spanish they taught me in high school, when I went to Spain, I didn't know what nobody was saying. So there are some differences, absolutely. So be sure whatever Portuguese class you decide to take, if you're moving to Portugal specifically, do look into European Portuguese. It says every Portuguese are welcome to help anyone out. Yes. And one of you all sent me such a nice message in my DM about communicating in Portuguese. I really appreciate that. They're trying to kill us over here with food, water. Yeah, they are trying to kill us over here with food, water, stress, COVID. That's America. T2 stands for time to go. That is hilarious, hon. That is super funny. Yes. So he says, don't speak Spanish to a Portuguese and vice versa. That is absolutely true. Do not come to Portugal speaking Spanish. Do not go to Spain speaking Portuguese. Respect that they are two different countries that have their own language. So act accordingly. When they offer vaccines as an option to travel, are you going to do it? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I do want the vaccine to get older. You know what I mean? I feel like they just gave birth to it yesterday. And then too, because, in the States, every time they come up with a drug, y'all seen these commercials, it'll be somebody playing in a meadow with like a ball and their children and life is great. And then under their voice, they're telling you all the bad side effects. And you're like, bruh, like what? So then we didn't get one of those commercials with this vaccine. So I'm just, I want more people to take it, and I'm still going to be diligent and stay isolated and only go to the grocery store and come on YouTube, but I need to talk to people. Okay. I agree. I live in Madrid and the Spanish is a learning curve. Yeah. How are you liking Madrid? Okay. How did you find your apartment? So I have a video that talks about finding apartments, and this particular apartment I found ironically on Airbnb. So when I came back from the States, it was critical for me to have a 1-year lease. So I was any Airbnb I stayed in, I was asking, would you mind if I stay here for a year? Would you mind if I stay here for a year? And this particular one, he was like, okay. And so we drew up a contract, and that's how I found this apartment on Airbnb. But there's a bunch of other websites that you could use. And a friend just gave one. I'm not sure if you just jumped in. He gave some websites. Excuse me. I just finished eating lunch, y'all, and I came up here and I'm just doing the most. I apologize. I have no home training. Okay. We'd rather prefer to speak English rather than Spanish. Let me see. Okay. It says we rather prefer to speak English rather than Spanish. Most Portuguese speak English. Everyone says most Portuguese speak English. And let me tell you something. I have not found that to be the case. I feel like it depends on where you are. So where I live in Caxias, which isn't far from Lisbon, down the street, nobody is speaking English, like not one person. And it's a older group of people, and just like language in general, if you don't use it, you lose it. So some people can be just as insecure about speaking English as I am about speaking Portuguese. So then they choose to go with the language that they feel comfortable with. I get that. But I feel like people kept telling me everyone speaks English. And that is like most people. That I have not seen that to be the case. Other people can vouch, but that's not been my experience. Yes, you speak 8 languages. Do it. I love it. I need to get my life together. See, in America, they just don't tell us that we need to get our life together and speak more languages. They do be playing in the meadows. I'm telling the truth. My dad only spoke Portuguese in the house. Cape Verde. Portuguese sound like I get it. Yes. Congrats. What's that? I'm just in 4 by now. I don't know what that means. We thought about response to vaccine. It says we thought our responding we might take it. Yeah. So it's actually some of my mentors are taking the vaccine right now, and I just hope everything is good. I heard that the second shot can create some issues. So I'm just, matter of fact, I need to call them and see what's going on. What's this say? That's a great answer. I think I'll wait for the commercial. You guys are funny. Thank you so much, hon. Woo. I don't know what that was. Okay, I like Madrid, but you need Spanish to open a bank account. Okay. Yeah. Luckily at my bank, you guys know I bank at Santander right now. There's one gentleman who speaks English, and he's been awesome. So other fun fact, which I didn't realize so I told you I just came back from the States for a couple weeks, and I had to pay my bills here in Portugal. And so my Portuguese bank account is attached to my Portuguese phone that doesn't work when I'm in the US. Ha! Fun fact. So I got super nervous as to how I was going to pay everybody in Portugal, and I couldn't get a text message. So this is one of the things that I just think is super awesome, that if I was calling a bank in the US, I just don't really feel like I would have gotten this level of service. So I called the banker, the actual person that I know who helped me open the account, who speaks to me and talks to me about the various products there. I emailed him and I said, I'm spazzing out. I have to pay my rent. I have to pay a contractor, and I can't get a text message, because in order for you to pay, you get a text message to your phone for the wire to go through. And I couldn't get the text message. So I'm spazzing out. And he was just so kind. He's like, it's okay. When I opened the account, I initially had my US number on the account. And I think I forgot I did that. So he's like, we'll just switch it to the US account. You can do all this online. Of course, everything on my bank account is in Portuguese. So I was like, I don't really know how. So he literally screenshotted the steps that I would have to take to change my telephone number online. And I can't tell you that I would have received that level of, it sounds basic, but I don't think I would have received that level of service. If I just would have called Bank of America's ass and told them I was in another country. I could be wrong. What do I know? Okay. Let's see. Young and middle-aged people speak. Yeah. Some people, and I've met some young. First of all, the mall, I'm right by Oleiros Park Mall. People in the food court don't speak English, and they're young. So listen, I've been struggling, but I know some words. I'm just too insecure to speak it right now. But do you have a car in Portugal? I do not. Do I plan on getting one? I don't know. So lately, I've been walking around this neighborhood. Many of you know I live in Caxias. And so neighborhoods are super, super close. So the next block can be called something else. So whatever it's called, like further up, like higher up, I don't know what it's called. But they have some houses there that I'm like really, really looking at. And they have a place to park. They have garages and all of that. So I really need to know what my living situation is going to be for the next couple months. I was considering that I might want to stay the apartment that I'm in right now for a second year, because it's so ridiculously affordable, and I'm not always sure what this economy is going to do. So I would rather just like totally be kind of like keep everything cheap and just stack money, so that, when I do buy a house or whatever, then, whatever. So I don't know if I'm gonna get a car. I know I'm not getting one within the next year. I would rather get a house first before I get a car. That's how I feel right now. I might rent a car when I feel like I need it. And then I let my license expire. Oh yeah, guys, you should know that. I let my license expire in the States. If you're going to leave the States and come to Portugal, it's substantially easier to just transfer your license when you get here. Don't do what I did. Don't let your license expire and then you trying to get one over here. Don't make that mistake I did. Okay. Juice shots cause chills like flu, according to some people. Yes, I have heard that. If anyone interested in hooking up in a group about Portuguese food? Anna, yes. Do you cook? Anna, where are you located? You cooking? What's happening? You want to get on a Zoom? You finna cook online with us? Let's do something. Talk to me. Send me a message or something. Home bake web service via internet. Home baking web service? I don't even know what that means. Cape Verde speak with dialect. Okay, I don't know about that. I'm highly into vaccine. I would encourage people to wait until the vaccine pill comes out. I don't know about that. Economy is going down. House prices are falling as well. It's a good time to invest in real estate in Portugal if you're planning on moving. I feel like it's going to get even worse. So I am definitely going to look into buying a house. This probably just will be in the next 6 months to a year, probably. Every to Anna's house. Everyone to Anna's house. Yes, Anna, look. Anna, now everybody want to know what you're going to do about food. And if you cooking, let's do it. Let's get you on here, see your kitchen, and I'll buy the groceries. Oh, that's what we should do. We should do like a group cooking situation stream. Y'all down? Anna, you going to teach it? Anna's not answering. Okay, guys, it's been real. It's been about an hour. We've been sitting here talking for an hour. Ooh, I had fun though. It was good seeing you guys. And thank you for all the DMs and everything. I appreciate y'all. But usually when I get busy, it just means I'm working. I didn't retire to Portugal yet, but I'm working on it. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna head out of here. If you have any questions, you know the routine, put them in the comments. I'll try my hardest to get that. But since we're gonna be locked up for a minute, I may have a little bit more time on my hands to respond. So I'll try to do that. And like always, guys, I really appreciate you. Again, if you're interested in doing the Portuguese classes with us, the last day to sign up is going to be Tuesday. We start Tuesday. I think it's 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Lisbon time. And it's no more than 20 students. So that's about it, guys. I've enjoyed you all, and I'll see you